Hey everybody, welcome to the Player's Take episode 51. I am your host Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host, a man shot by one too many SLRs, Montrell Rice.
Hey, that was a low blow, bastard.
I mean, I'm just saying, you were complaining about it in PUBG this week.
That shit is fucking ridiculous. I was complaining about it last night too.
I know you were. And we are joined by a special guest this week, Denison Rice, no relation to Montrell, but has the same last name anyways. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
So Denison is, our friend, but he also hosts his own podcast called The Catchup. If you want to, tell the people what The Catchup's all about.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's about me and my friend John pretty much catching up since we live far distance apart. He lives in Kansas. I live in Texas. And we're pretty much just, catching up with each other, as well as talking about current events, things that we find interesting. It's just a really fun time, and you guys should check it out.
It's just a really fun time, man.
It is.
Well, this podcast is a weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and your favorite podcast app of choice. This guy is trying to fuck me up lately. He keeps trying to do this every week, and I am blowing through it because I'm a professional.
Yeah,
okay?
I see.
I'm a professional host at this point.
I gotta throw a little mix in there every once in a while,
I got the hosting. I got the hosting chops now. Okay, so
as they say in the fighting game community, I gotta throw a mix up in there every once in a while.
Oh man. Okay. Well, let's start like we always do with what we've been playing. Let's start with our guest, Denison.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
What have you been playing, sir?
So I have been playing mostly Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Love that game. Well,
okay. That's strong.
It is strong. That is very strong. Let me rethink my answer there. I enjoy the game right now.
Okay.
See the flaws, but
all right. So I've been
good.
playing it too. Let's get into this.
Okay.
Montreal's not been playing it, so you can sit there and look pretty, even though there's no video.
Coming soon to a YouTube near you.
So where are you at? You told me yesterday you were about to fight Vegeta, and we're gonna spoil it. Obviously, if you don't know the plot of DBZ at this point, I can't help you.
It's your fault.
So sorry.
I think it's 20 years old at this point, right?
Oh, it's more than that, bro. It's like 25.
Yeah,
So yeah, whatever. So you said you were about to fight Vegeta. I'm assuming you did that yesterday.
Yep.
Did you get to Namek, or are you still?
I am at Namek.
You're at. Okay. Did you just start it?
For the most part.
Okay, so you're a little bit ahead of me because I got through the Saiyan saga yesterday. I'm in the intermission between sagas right now. So so what are you? Give me your high level thoughts of the game, I guess.
Okay.
Ooh.
So this game is, from a Dragon Ball Z fan's perspective, who've watched the whole series and just love the series, I think this is a great fan game. It has RPG elements, but I really feel like they're more like thrown in there. They just kind of want to
really
toss that stuff in there and be like,
we'll get into that in a minute.
I think because there's a ton of stuff that you wouldn't have thought of, or stuff that they bring into the story was like, oh, well, this makes sense on, how we got to this certain point in the DBZ story and stuff like that. Yep. I think they do cutscenes. Oh, okay. It's interesting because there are times where they have cutscenes that look amazing, right, and I'm blown away and I'm like, wow, this is great. And then they have cutscenes that they could be better. They're not bad.
It's like the Kingdom Hearts thing where you have those cutscenes where the characters aren't lip synced to what they're saying, but they're still talking like it's voiced. And then you have those cutscenes where their voice is really like their mouth is really animated and it's like perfectly lip synced to what they're saying.
Well, I did read that they did the dubs and everything, but the lip syncing rather is for the Japanese version only. Yeah, like they didn't sync anything for the English dub.
Yeah, version. I don't pay attention to that generally, so I don't know for sure. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I've seen that in a lot of things in the past, but I think in terms of the the actual voice work, the voice work's really good.
Oh yeah,
but I mean they're kind of retreading ground that they've already covered before. So I mean there is some new stuff, I will say, like a lot of side characters specifically from Dragon Ball make an appearance, and their voice actors are back in this. Like most of the ones that were actually from the show that was originally the dub are back here, and that was kind of surprising for me, but also cool at the same time. It was really fun to see like Launch back and actually like talking. It wasn't just like text, you know. She actually had voice work, and that was pretty fun. And other characters are the same, but I think in terms of the retelling of the story so far, I think they've done a good job personally.
Oh yeah. No, I think they've done a great job at that point. I mean, it's hard to get the story wrong since it's been done
a million times.
Exactly.
Right.
It's been done forever. So it's hard to really get that messed up.
Right.
I actually went back and looked at some of the cutscenes for the first Budokai, which I think did an amazing job of retelling the story.
That was like a beat for beat retelling of the Saiyan Saga.
Yes, it was like watching episodes. It was amazing.
Right.
And this game, compared to that, does a really good job, but there are just certain cutscenes that just kind of miss their mark, I feel like.
In Budokai or in Fighters in Kakarot?
In Kakarot.
Okay.
Because Budokai, I feel like it hits them on the
it does. It's almost like frame for frame animation at certain points.
Who developed Budokai?
It was Namco. I don't know which team of theirs.
Can't remember.
But I'm pretty sure it was Namco. But well, so in terms of gameplay, how do you feel about? We're gonna put the RPG stuff aside for a second.
Okay.
How do you feel about the actual gameplay? So what I mean by that is the actual battles themselves, and then the exploration that you get to do.
Okay, so sorry. The gameplay is like a revised version of the Xenoverse series.
Right.
I feel like it's more polished.
It feels. I didn't play Xenoverse, but to me, it feels shallow.
It's not. Xenoverse was kind of like that. It didn't have a super amount of depth.
Like, dude, there's no grabs in this game.
No,
which I find really odd.
Xenoverse did have grabs, I think.
Yeah, I would hope so, because that game's supposed to be kind of a pseudo fighter, right?
Not really. Not really. It's if you ever played like the whole Budokai Tenkaichi series, it was like that.
Okay. Because you can guard endlessly in this game, and your guard will be broken eventually. But that seems like it takes a while for that to happen. So and it's usually longer than an enemy will try to hit you for.
And it's a lot more forgiving too with the guard, because you can guard like in the middle of getting hit.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. It's not 100% true. There are certain combos where if you get hit once, you're gonna get hit by the whole combo. But yeah, it seems like depending on the enemy, it's like you can guard mid combo and you can start guarding. It's like it is a little, like you said, forgiving, I guess, in that regard. I don't want to be too critical here, because it is fun to play. I do think it. I think it works. And it's not unenjoyable. And I do think the big set piece battles against like Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa are actually really fun.
Oh yeah, they really
because they are drawn out fights. They're not. They don't take a minute or two. Like they take 5 to 10 minutes, because your opponent has so much health, compared to a normal enemy. But I think they play out pretty well from that regard. I just think, it just feels like the combat is a little shallow. Like you have 4 moves you can put on your action bar, basically, and then you have 4 transformations you can put on your transformation bar, and that's about it. And then you have your punches and your key blasts, and that's pretty much the extent of it. And you can fly around and dodge.
Sounds pretty Xenoverse to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I do kind of like how they implemented the guard.
Yeah.
The guard as well as the dodge.
Yes.
The dodge mechanic is easy enough for most people to get into, but if you get really good at it, you can make it really, like, you can become almost untouchable.
I've noticed you can spam it as much as you want. There is no cost to dodging, and it basically makes you invincible in the middle of a dodge. But there is kind of a skill to interweaving dodges into your attacks, and that I think that's where the depth of this game comes from, or at least is trying to come from. Because I noticed I was starting to get better at this last night as I was fighting Vegeta. Like, dodging, like kind of hitting him with a combo, and then he would come at me, dodging it and going right back into another combo and staggering him again. And that seems to be the kind of cadence you're trying to hit with it. So but the battles that I find kind of annoying, I guess, are the random battles. So far up to this point, they seem really stupid because they're challenging for like a level, and then you gain a level and they're completely irrelevant after that. Like, you literally aren't even challenged by the enemies anymore. It's like, it's weird. And I do think so what do you think about the exploration, though, the flying around the maps? Do you like how they implemented that?
I kind of do. I feel like it gets a little boring after a little bit. But it's not too bad. Like, I feel like there's enough depth there for me to be able to get around and not be super annoyed. Like, I actually like that they put running animation in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
I actually prefer running to flying a lot of the time.
I think
the flying
too.
is kind of clunky, personally.
Me too. And then they also have it, just even if you can't do like the super fast running, you can do your normal speed run or whatever like that. And then if you hit the jump button, there's like 3 jumps that actually make you go faster, which is really cool.
Right.
Which I feel like they actually put a lot of work into that. And so I really appreciate that. And I think that actually makes the exploration a little bit better.
Right.
I think when it comes to encountering enemies, until you really get to the villainous enemies, you don't really get a challenge.
Right, I've gotten that now, but now it's like the opposite of what I was just talking about, where they're way over your level and they kill you in one hit. Like, it's like it's like one or the other. The game seems really stilted at the beginning. And I guess this is a good time to just start talking about the quote RPG mechanics of this game. So there is an experience system in the leveling system, and every character has stats. They have hit points, they have key attack, they have key defense, they have melee attack and melee defense. Those are their core stats. And then HP. I think I already said that. But they go up with every level up, basically. And you can eat food to permanently increase your stats and give yourself temporary buffs to them. But the thing about this is, I feel like it's, so far at least, not very... It's one of the weirdest implementations of an RPG system I've ever seen, because there are large stretches of this game where you don't have a character, and then all of a sudden you get them back and they get a shitload of experience, and they get like fucking... This happened with Goku in the when he was training with King Kai. You don't get to control him from the period he dies when Raditz kills him, or when Piccolo kills him, rather, to basically when he shows up with Nappa, and he gains like 12 levels in that period of time automatically for free. I have never seen an RPG that just gives you experience points for free. Like, it is the weirdest thing I've ever... I mean, it makes sense, I guess, in Dragon Ball Z and the way the story is, but it's also strange because I don't feel like I'm playing the game. You know, I feel like the game is just kind of like, here you go, here's a super powerful character, and, you know, have fun. You know, it's just... It's not satisfying to me in that regard, and I'm going to imagine that's going to happen again with Goku when he shows up at Namek, and I'm sure it's going to happen again later in the story with other characters as well. And I don't like, because it just feels like it's like a token RPG system. Like I'm in an intermission right now with Gohan, and leveling is like, it would take me hours to sit there and level, you know, because the scaling is so absurd with how quickly the amount of experience you need per level goes up. It's nuts. And the enemies don't scale with you. So you're getting like 600 experience per battle, and you need 10,000 to level up. And it's like, okay, I could fight 20 battles real quick, but then it turns into the next level, you need 20,000 experience. And it's like, it's so, the cliff is just so steep there that it's not really worth your time. And the game almost feels like it's just feeding you what you need in order to be able to complete the story. I feel like you don't need to do any of the side shit to be able to beat this game. That's kind of my impression so far.
No, yeah. I mean, I think I'm right there with you. I mean, I think for right now, they really just want you to be as strong as you need to be for each big boss battle. So that way, you know, you're staying with the story, right?
Right.
I think a lot of this is really like setting up for the end game, which is
it
really
does make me
weird.
Wonder about that. Yeah. Is there an end game to this game?
There is, actually. I looked at some of the reviewers and stuff like that, and apparently there's a mechanic to where you can go back.
Okay. Wait, so is there a new game plus where you can play through the game again, or no?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I just know there is a mechanic to where you can essentially go back to any point in the story and do stuff.
Okay.
I think half of that is just for the side missions.
Right.
Because the side missions...
Trophy purposes.
Yeah, and the side missions are also like time-based.
Right, they're timed. You can't do them whenever you want.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially once it pops up, you pretty much need to use it.
But when you're in the middle of a saga, dude, the game is so restrictive. You can't even leave the area you're in most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like 80% of the time, the game doesn't even let you go to the world map when you're in the middle of the saga, quote unquote. You have to wait till these intermissions where you can fly around and do whatever you want, which is funny because I get to the one after the Saiyan saga and I'm like, there's like 5 new areas I can go to and there's a ton of shit to do, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, it just kind of slaps you really quickly, and I don't know. I think the implementation for a lot of this stuff is weird. Despite all this, I like the game. I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, frankly.
Oh yeah, no, I really, really like the game. I think
chilling it up.
They did a great job.
Shut your damn mouth. You were over there yesterday, like, I think I might buy this game.
I don't know now.
Like I said, I think if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, this is the game to buy.
I am a fan, but this sounds more like Xenoverse.
Dude, it does a good job for what it is. I think it does a good job. I think this game could definitely be better, but I don't think it needs more content. It has plenty of content. This game is going to last 40 hours at least.
Oh, yeah.
Probably just to get through the main story, I feel like. I'm already like 9 or 10 in, I think.
I'm 10.
And I'm only through the Saiyan saga. So and there's 3 more sagas to go after that. So
I just feel like this game's a little bit too late for me personally. Me personally, I feel like it's a little bit too late.
I don't disagree with you. They shouldn't have made the Xenoverse games. This should have been the game they made instead of Xenoverse. Like, because Xenoverse to me, I never was interested in it because it just was like, it was just random. It didn't feel like, it just felt like they were just trying to capitalize on DBZ. This actually feels like a real game that they've made within the DBZ universe, and I think it's well done. And I'm going to be honest, I'm surprised how well it runs actually on PS4. I'm pretty impressed with its performance. Like, I've had no issues in terms of frame rate or anything like that on the PS4 Pro. The only thing I've noticed is when the game autosaves, that the game basically like dies for 10 seconds. It just completely freezes and you can't do anything every time the game autosaves. But that's a small gripe. Otherwise, in combat and actually flying around the world, the game runs real smooth for me.
Oh yeah, I'm playing on PC and it's pretty good. I will say there was a little glaring issue that they had with AMD cards and like first startup.
Why do they hate us so much?
You essentially have to you have to download a driver directly from AMD for it to actually work.
Right.
Otherwise, the game is unplayable.
Wow, that's great.
Wow,
it just crashes instantly.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So that was kind of crazy, and there's some
AMD's good with that though. They usually are quick to jump on that stuff.
They pushed it out
just
pretty
crazy
quick.
to me.
It shouldn't be on them though.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
It should be on the developers to make sure the game works on.
Not everyone
AMD
makes
hardware.
it. I mean, not everyone's on NVIDIA products. That's another subject. Anyway, continue.
No, I haven't had any issues. I will say it caps me at 60. Like, I can't up it, which is really interesting.
Okay.
I mean,
you must be able to edit the XML though to uncap it. That's got to be a
that's probably what you should do. But that's the thing. Like, it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
I was like, why am I getting capped at
XML?
60?
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, otherwise the game looks fantastic on PC. But I feel like they made this game to look fantastic on anything.
It looks good on PS4
because it just looks great.
Yeah, it looks good on PS4.
I love the game.
But so I mean, I think it's good so far. I'm gonna keep playing it. I think the platinum is stupidly easy. It seems like. So I may end up getting it just because like you're barely gonna need to do anything outside of just beating the game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna continue playing it. I'm excited to play more tonight and tomorrow. But I don't know. You have any other thoughts on it so far?
I guess the only thing that I have thoughts on is they do. Have you messed with the super attack editor skill tree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The skill tree. Yeah, we didn't mention this. Yeah. So every character has a skill tree. It's super restrictive.
Very,
you
very
barely
much.
can do anything in it. It's very strange. It's like you unlock things basically by playing the story, and then you get to do a couple upgrades, and then you're locked out until another story event happens, and then you can maybe do a challenge battle to unlock some things every now and then. But that only lets you get like one thing, and then you can't get anything until the story plays out some more. It's definitely which I understand. Like, you don't want to be able to unlock Super Saiyan before Frieza's saga, but I do think the implementation is like this goes back to what you were saying about the RPG mechanics feeling like kind of just like they're there. Mm-hmm. It's like it's
it sounds like they don't want you to grind. A story game. They should just made like an action story game without
like a Xenoverse game without the RPG.
Well, Xenoverse is different. Yeah. Like I can't compare it to Xenoverse. Only thing I can compare it to Xenoverse is the combat. Right. Everything else, as far as you make your own character and they have their own storyline. Xenoverse has its own separate storyline it has an excuse for you to go back and play these other sagas that you're in because the timeline is broken because it's been repeating itself for so long. So I can't really compare it for that reasons. Only thing I'm comparing it to for Xenoverse is the combat. The combat looks eerily similar to Xenoverse's combat, or maybe I don't even want to say Tenkaichi. I think it's Xenoverse. It reminds me of Xenoverse.
Yeah. Polished version of Xenoverse.
Yeah, like you said,
it's a really polished version.
That's why I said I am going to get the game, but I may just wait until it comes on sale because, like for me, like I said.
Well, it's actually already on sale.
Yeah,
on Amazon.
Yeah,
might be worth picking up.
I think this will be kids like who are like 10 or 11 or 12 who were like us when Budokai came out, right?
Oh, this would be a great game for younger people who are fans of DBZ. Yeah. I think this would be one of their favorite games.
Yeah, I think this is their Budokai, right? Like when we were amazed that these scenes that we saw were animated, and like I think this is going to be there for them. Like for someone like me who already experienced Budokai, like. Honestly, and this is definitely nostalgia talking. I think the scenes that were animated, nothing's been able to touch it ever since.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
like they animated those, and this in PlayStation 2 graphics, and they animated those scenes.
Oh, and they looked amazing.
Yeah,
too.
And they still look good. Yeah, like when you go back and watch it on YouTube, you're like, man, this shit still looks good.
Yeah, man.
But when I did see Kakarot stuff, I was just watching some gameplay yesterday. It looks really fucking good. Like you said, it looks like a more polished version of Xenoverse in the cutscenes and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just something about Budokai that I think this game won't spark for me. I'm gonna play it though, and I'm not gonna judge it off that merit. But it looks pretty cool though.
Last point I want to make too is the game basically so far is you basically play Gohan most of the time. I'd say about 75% of the time you're playing as Gohan. You get to play a little bit of Goku at the beginning, and then you play him a little bit at the end of the Saiyan Saga, and then you play a little bit of Piccolo kind of in the middle there, and then it's mostly Gohan from there.
Okay.
So, which does make it feel better because he's actually progressing kind of like slowly.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of leveling there that feels natural compared to Piccolo and Goku, where they just get these giant jumps in power like kind of randomly. So I do think it feels okay in that regard, but we'll see, I guess, how the Namek saga plays out. And I'm really interested to see how these Android, Cell, and Majin Buu parts of the game really play out in regards to that stuff.
Because I think that's when it's going to come into its own.
Right. I do think the leveling may actually matter at that point in the game much more than it does now.
Okay.
Because
it goes back to that theory, man. Dragon Ball Z was supposed to be a Gohan story, not a Goku story.
I almost feel like they were trying to do it with this game.
Well, it feels that way.
It really feels that way.
It feels that way, dude. Yeah, I'd say, like as I said, 75% of my gameplay so far has been Gohan.
Yeah. Okay.
So, which is interesting. So, all right, let's move on. What else have you been playing, Denison?
So I've been also playing Kingdom Hearts 3, which I know you guys love.
Today.
The best.
We're not going to get into a big discussion about it.
It is the best game ever, man.
I know. And then I've been playing Pit People, which is a really interesting game, but really fun.
Yeah. Is that one? Where they're? I feel like I've been seeing it on Twitch a little bit.
That's a strategy game he was playing. He's talking about.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
that's right.
Pit People is a
never mind.
It's turn-based strategy game. Right. You're roaming around a whole open world. It's got a lot of really funny elements to it. It's just a good game. I mean, I think you should play it. I mean, if you like strategy, this probably isn't like the best way to describe it, but like if you like strategy games,
That's the only way to describe strategy games. So
you just gotta play them. Really,
you're not gonna sell strategy games to people who don't like strategy games.
Yeah,
so.
And then even then, it's like a different flavor of strategy games for everybody. Because I can't,
true.
I don't play. I don't like.
I'm a person, and I feel like you're this way too. Like we kind of play all types of strategy games, but I feel like there's definitely segments of strategy gamers. Some people like 4X. Some people like Fire Emblem style.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people like Final Fantasy Tactics style. Some people like Pit People style or Wargroove style. I like all of them personally, but
I think they all bring their own like uniqueness to the whole genre. I mean, I find like if you like just a wacky story, because that's all Pit People is. It's super wacky. It
looks weird.
Super weird.
It looks really wonky.
Like the whole premise is like a big giant bear a giant space bear collapses into the earth, and then like the world's broke. I mean, it's essentially that, and you're just trying to like figure out how stuff works in this place. It's really weird.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I do want to say about Kingdom Hearts 3. I was listening to the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack today while I was at work, and
hit you in the feels, man.
It made me think about the series, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give Kingdom Hearts 3 a chance someday again. I don't know when that day is going to be.
You should.
I don't know when that day will be, when that day will come, but it's going to come at some point. I'm going to give the game a chance again. Hopefully Remind can bring some things back for me, but I don't care about it right now, so I don't want to jump back down that rabbit hole. The feelings are still too fresh.
I understand. I completely understand.
So, maybe in 2 or 3 years, we'll see. Okay. Montrell, we've played a little bit of PUBG.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to put that on my list.
And there was a new map drop, actually. This came out of nowhere last week, dude. So they announced and released onto the test server a new map called Kakarot, and it's a 2x2 map, which is half the size of Sandhawk, and it is it only allows 64 players rather than 100 because it's so small, and goddamn, it is really small.
And fun as fuck.
But this might be, I do say this with hesitation, but this might be my favorite map so far.
Really?
Because it really encourages you to fight. Like, there are legitimate reasons to go fight other people. Like, because in the middle, the way the map's designed, the exterior has all of the big, like, cities.
Mm-hmm.
Basically where all the kind of like the biggest quantity of loot is. And then in the center, you have all these bunkers, and then you have these closed buildings. And on this map, there's this new item called a sticky bomb that you can throw on walls and blow them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty much C4.
Yeah,
nice.
And so there are destructible buildings on this map, and these buildings are sealed. You have to blow your way into them, and they're basically loot buildings. They have like SLRs, scopes, things you can't find on the rest of the map, basically. Because if you don't go to these buildings, the rest of the map basically has ARs, SMGs, shotguns, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You'll be lucky to find a 2X.
So they actually like properly disperse the loot.
They balance the loot
like
so that there is a risk reward. If you go on the outside, you're not going to fight very much, so your chances of getting to later in the game are higher. But your loot, your gear is going to be worse.
Yes,
because you went to the outside. So it's a risk reward. You think you can win with an M4 and a 2X versus somebody with an SLR and a 4X? I don't know. More often than not, you're probably going to lose that battle, depending on what the terrain looks like.
Yeah.
Sounds
or
like it
you go in the middle, risk dying right away. But if you win,
every drop is a hot drop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Almost
in the middle.
Every drop is a hot. You're gonna have someone next to you, if not 2 or 3 clicks away from you.
Right.
Okay. Just exploring, like, to see, because he didn't play with this yesterday, so we did a lot more exploring yesterday. Yeah, the bunkers are very, very intuitive. That's why people, because we couldn't figure out for the love of us why people weren't going to the cities. They were just dropping in random spots, and there were hot zones throughout the spots. But we did go to a couple of bunkers, and we blew up one side of the bunker. We went underground, and then another team blew up the other side of the bunker and went underground. So we had a whole underground battle, which I thought we won. It was cool, but it's just really cool how it encourages you to do that, because, like you said, you can rarely find a 2X out in the wild. You have to go to one of these bunkers. You want to fight somebody for it, and it is a huge risk reward type deal. Even just the way you move and things of that nature, like, if you fire upon somebody randomly, like, there may be another team right next to you looking at the dune.
There's 3-4-way firefights all the time on this map. It's really fun. I think this might be their most well realized map. because they changed the red zone on this map to something called the black zone. And instead of dropping bombs really slowly and ploddingly the way the red zone does on the other maps, on this map, the black zone drops missiles that blow buildings up.
Oh, and if you're in those buildings, you're dead. So
it drops really quickly after the zone happens. Like, dude, if you're in the middle, you have to just sprint to have a chance to get out.
You have to get out.
Like dude, I've seen it. It works. Like it drives people out of complexes, and they expose themselves to fire, but like you're gonna die if you stay there. So it's actually like it's a purposeful mechanic now that actually like does something in the game, and it's really cool.
Yeah, we actually won. I
actually really like that.
We won 2 games yesterday. Jet was the last man standing on both of those games, but we were like kind of being his UAV. We were telling him like, "Oh, look to the left, because you're on the screen." But anyway, so we won. And it was a building. He was behind a rock, and the guy was behind a building. And then the black zone dropped on that building, forcing the dude to expose himself. And we end up winning like that because the black zone. He was camping inside that building the entire like second half of the game because the circle ended on that. And then
that's awesome.
The black zone, exploded that building. And then he had to expose himself for it.
Anti-camper, awesome. Man. So it's cool. Also an anti-camper mechanic too, which is, and dude, these are happening every 30 seconds. Like it's not as slow as the red zone is. Like it happens often, fast, and it's devastating. Like and it completely destroys the buildings that it hits too. Like it's pretty. So this map is really interesting.
I like that.
Case in point. So.
I wonder if they're going to do it for other maps. That's what I think.
I hope so, at least for Soundhawk, dude. I would love to see that map get the black zone instead of the red zone. I would really like that because I think that map is fast, but I think it could really benefit from the anti-camping mechanics that this. I'm not sure it's designed for it because there's so many open spaces.
Well, I think they can easily put more buildings there and more.
They could.
They could easily
just
balance
more rocks or something. Trees.
They could easily balance it and then have a reason to go to loot caves and stuff like that, and that I think that was their first implementation of like trying to do underground shit with Sandhawk, but it didn't really work in their favor the way they wanted it to work.
And I think Miramar could also use this same thing. As big as that map is, I just think that the amount of camping that happens on that map, anything to drive people out of it, would be beneficial to me. So
the black zone sounds like a really good implementation of what they tried to do, where they just like made the circles go faster.
Yeah,
because it just forces people everywhere to move, and it sounds like they're also trying to go for maybe the Apex Legends type crowd because Apex Legends is a lot faster paced game, so it sounds like they're trying to get those types of people in.
Yes, and that is actually a really common complaint of the community right now. They really hate this map. A lot of the people on the Reddit, because they think it's for people who play Apex and Fortnite who want like really fast kinetic gameplay. And I just think the thing is it's not necessarily about that. It's not like your character's going to move any faster. You're not going to be able to double jump and fucking create platforms you can jump on and shit. But it's forcing players to fight each other, and that is what PUBG has lacked for so long. There is no incentive to fight other people on most of the other maps. It's about avoidance, and that is a fun tactic for a while, but eventually it creates this community where you get campers, and it's no fun to get killed by a camper, dude. Like when somebody's camping and standing in a corner on top of a washing machine, which happened to me last week, like it's just not it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun because there's no skill involved. Like it doesn't you're not a better player because you did that, It's just like, okay, it's a tactic that worked. How am I supposed to know you're there? It's impossible for the person coming into the room to know you're there unless you do something to fuck up, move, shoot your gun, do something. Like there's no way for me to know. So it's like that's not a fun way for players to engage with each other, in my opinion. I think what they're doing now is a much better way. It's just you're forcing engagements out in the open. You're forcing people to be out in the open, which means they need to be more smarter about how they use cover, when they use cover, where they go, what buildings they go into, things like that. So I like it.
Yeah, because I do remember this is what I was asking for in PUBG, because I don't really want to. I like Apex Legends, but I don't like Fortnite. But I do like Apex Legends because we're constantly on the move and on the go. And I wanted PUBG to have that same aspect because you see screenshots, you see other gameplay, like people constantly fighting in PUBG.
Right.
But when I jump into a game, it's never like that.
Oh no, it's barren wasteland.
Yeah, and even when you do a hot drop, right? The hot drops last for like maybe 2 seconds because the loot sucks. Right? There's no way to get a M4 and a piece of armor and go out and fight each other. Where in this map, you can do that. You drop in a little zone, and if someone drops in the same zone as you on the other side, everyone's already geared up within the first 2 minutes, and then we're going out hunting. And even in Sandhawk, right? Like, it was in the step in the right direction, but there's still a lot of this camping because of all the vegetation and
there's huge sections of like when we play on that map. There's huge stretches of the games where we don't see anybody.
Yeah,
even on that.
That's
map.
a 4x4 map, right?
Yeah, and it's 100 people too.
Yeah,
and it still happens on that map that you don't see anyone for a while.
Yeah,
you know?
and sometimes we're just looking like. We're just begging for a fight. Like, oh, there's shots over there, and it's outside the circle. We're like, fuck it, we're going to go outside the circle and fight. Right. Like, it just, I don't know. Doesn't really do anything for me. But with this map, it does. So I guess if you're used to that camping lifestyle, I mean, you will hate this map. And
Sorry.
I guess,
go play Miramar then, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why I hate that map. Y'all ask me why I hate that map every time we play that
I
map.
like the map because it's slower. It's just I like the end of the game because there's different. This is one thing I think PUBG's done well with all their maps is they're all different. They all have different ways to play them. And I like that about the maps. There's a lot of variety. There's weapon variety, vehicle variety, location variety, geography variety, things like that on every map. But I just think like Miramar is going to be the one that kind of gets left in the dust probably if they don't make changes to it, because it's so big that it becomes almost impossible to hot drop because there's so much land to land on, you know?
Well, not only that, but the gear fucking sucks. Yep. I feel like they could make Erangel and Miramar way faster. They can make those fast maps. They can make these maps just as fast as Kerrigan, because they can do the same thing with the black zones, right? But put more vehicles in there. Encourage people to get in these vehicles.
To move around. We have vehicle fights, right? Well, put those loot spots too.
Yeah, like that's what I thought the flares are going to implement, right? I thought those are going to implement more vehicle
They're
fights.
so limited. Yeah. You get them so infrequently, and even when you do, a lot of the time, other people have already gotten the drops that are allowed from the flares.
Exactly.
So it's like not even it's barely a consideration most games.
Those maps are so big that they do need vehicles, and there's not enough vehicles everywhere. And I understand, like, that's random or whatever, but, I mean, encourage people to drive around, have the circle move in random places. Like, instead of just moving like right here and then smaller circle in there, have the circle move way up to the top and then way up to the bottom, and it gets smaller each side. I mean, I don't know how you can do that, but just have it move or something like that where people have constantly moved with the vehicles.
Well, they did remember this mechanic that they announced that they were going to have a circle within the circle or whatever that was going to be like basically like a blue zone within the main zone. So you weren't going to be able to camp in the center of the fucking map the way a lot of people do on some of the bigger maps and hope the circle lands on you and you win the game, you know? So hopefully that kind of encourages people to come out of their little hidey holes and kind of encourages combat around the edges of the circle kind of thing, which is I think what they want from that, but we'll see. I think they're on the right track. That's kind of the whole point of this discussion is they're on the right track. I think this new map's good. I like it. I'm looking forward to Denison's dying over there. I'm looking forward to playing it.
God.
Oh my Jesus Christ. Man. You done?
Damn, that was a bad you done.
I'm back.
All right, Denison, you okay?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
Okay. He was trying to tell us to shut the fuck up and talk about another
game. He's tired of PUBG, which he's right. We should move on. But I just want to finish. I think they're on the right track. I'm looking forward to playing Karakin more. They are taking Vikendi down when Karakin goes live on live servers.
I think they're going to make that map.
They're going to redesign that map. Yeah, they might make it destructible. Add
that would
the
be
black
a good
zones.
Destructible map.
That'd be really good. That'd be really good on that map.
And you got tracks, so you can track people too.
That would be fun.
Yeah, man.
That would be cool. So, all right, let's move on. Montrell, what else have you been playing?
I just been playing The Witcher 3, and I downloaded the Couture version, the mobile version of the Couture, which is actually just literally a port of the PC console game. and it works really well. And I'm playing that right now. So
shit, I might try that.
Yeah, it's only $10 on like the App Store.
Well, I have like $16 on my free rewards money, so I might just pick it up.
Yeah, it's only $10 on the App Store. It's on both Android and iPhone or the Apple markets. So I recommend it to anybody who's a Couture fan because it plays exactly like it. Okay. They did a really good job porting it over. The movement can be a little bit weird, but once you get used to it, then it's like playing with the controller. In my opinion,
it was always kind of janky though.
Yeah,
even on PC. So
yeah.
First story today, the
guys probably already know about this one.
Yeah, the stories of the week here. Delay season has started. So this one we talked about Final Fantasy VII and Avengers last week, but CD Projekt Red came out last week and said that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be delayed. Let me read the full quote here from them. Here we go. I quote, "We have important news regarding Cyberpunk 2077's release date we'd like to share with you today. Cyberpunk 2077 won't make the April release window, and we're moving the launch date to September 17th, 2020. We are currently at a stage where the game is complete and playable, but there's still work to be done. Night City is massive, full of stories, content, and places to visit. But due to the sheer scale and complexity of it all, we need more time to finish playtesting, fixing, and polishing. We want Cyberpunk 2077 to be our crowning achievement for this generation, and postponing launch will give us the precious months we need to make the game perfect." Blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much the gist of it. So, game's getting moved to September. I think this delay was not surprising. I kind of said this when the game was announced for April, that I was really surprised by the date. I didn't expect it to come out this soon. So this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. People are upset about it, but I don't want to get into those conversations. What does this kind of, how do you feel about this delay, I guess, guys? How is it striking you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, Denison, I know you're not super interested in this game. I'm trying to sell you on it, but
I mean, the game sounds cool. It really does. Especially, when you explained it to me, that it has like a feel of Deus Ex.
Right.
And I love that franchise. For me, to be honest, I kind of thought this game wasn't going to come out for quite a while.
I thought it was next gen.
Yeah, exactly. I for sure thought
I think
it was
a lot of
next
people
gen.
thought that.
So that's why I never really held my breath and oh, it's so close. I can't wait.
Right.
I mean, I think I've always kind of known, I was like, well, this is going to come out eventually.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because, I mean, it's been teased for years.
It's been
and
8 years since they announced it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not really that surprised. And if they're delaying it to make the game better, I'd rather them do that.
Of course.
To be completely
100%.
honest. I'm tired of getting games where everything is
Performance
broken.
is bad and things like that.
Or you get a day one patch that's 15, 60 gigs.
Jesus.
I mean, I remember there was a game, I can't even remember. It was a relatively recent game where it was a 15 gig patch. Actually, I think it might have been when I got the latest Modern Warfare game.
Right, they do that every year.
It was just a gigantic patch. I'm like, why am I bought the game.
Right.
I already had to wait to download the stupid thing. Why
Right.
am I downloading another patch?
It's the nature of the days we live in, man. Montrell, I know you were much more interested in this game. Are you upset by this delay or
Nope.
No, me either, man. This is such a breath of relief for me because with Final Fantasy VII getting delayed to the 10th, having this game 6 days later was giving me heart palpitations. Like the idea of trying to play those games back to back in the same week was just absurd to me. With Neo 2 literally 2 weeks before that or 3 weeks before that, there was no way this was going to happen for me. So this frankly to me couldn't have been better. I think this is great. I think a lot of these delays happening is actually awesome. I'm happy about this because I think games are going to get more shine than they would have. I think Neo 2 is actually going to be a game, a marquee game now than where it was originally, where everything was lined up before. So I'm excited about that part of it as well. But yeah, I mean, the only thing about this that I find weird is that they push it to September, and there are rumors swirling that the consoles could be coming out as early as October. And I realistically could see a September release date for them. So it's kind of making me wonder, is this game going to come day and date with the console launches on the new consoles? Because if it is, man, I feel like they're trying to double dip, or I hope they at least announce it before the consoles come out, because if we don't know by September 17th, whether this game's going to be on PS5 and Xbox Series X at launch, then I feel like they're playing a game there where they're trying to get people to buy it on PS4, Xbox One, and then buy it again on PS5. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out about that.
I think they're trying to play like the game that GTA 5 did.
Oh yeah.
That
works. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Like
release
crazy.
it on every console.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit.
You're right, and this game's gonna have multiplayer too.
Mm-hmm. That's how you get the most.
There you go. So it is gonna be like that.
The multiplayer did get delayed to 2022 though. So.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Another delay. Dying Light 2. So this game didn't have a release date, but it has also been pushed back out of the spring window. It was announced for spring 2020, so I will read their statement as well. This is from Techland. Quote, "To our dedicated community, it was a busy year for us as we continued working on our biggest project to date. We know you are awaiting the game eagerly, and we want to deliver exactly what we promised. We were initially aiming for a spring 2020 release with Dying Light 2, but unfortunately, we need more development time to fulfill our vision. We will have more details to share in the coming months, and we will get back to you as soon as we have more information. We apologize for this unwelcome news. Our priority is to deliver an experience that lives up to our own high standards and to the expectations of you, our fans." So that's pretty much the gist. End quote there. So this one, this is the least surprising one out of the ones that have been announced so far early this year. This game didn't even have a date. I don't think they were close, frankly, to hitting. And they did not announce a new date for it either. So, I mean, that indicates to me I'm not sure this game's even going to come out before the new consoles are out. So I'm kind of wondering what their plan is here. Like, are they going to have it on the new consoles at launch with this? Because I would think if you can't get this out before August, that needs to be your plan. Right?
Launch title.
Yeah, it has to be. Or at least get it out in January or something next year and have it on the new consoles. Because, dude, if you try to release this in October or November, and I just don't. It's not going to end well for these guys. Like, this game it was popular, Dying Light, but I just feel like it'll get buried by Call of Duty.
I just feel like it should just wait till next May. Wait till next. I'm sorry, not May, but wait till next March to release it.
I think January would work for them. It worked for them the first time.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
nothing's getting released around that time. Then yeah.
Right.
I mean, we don't know with E3 season coming. We don't know it's going to be announced at the Xbox press event.
Yeah.
So,
which is, I think, why they didn't announce a date, because I think they want to wait and see how the field plays out. Because, dude, like I think from the consoles launch in the 6 months after that, that's going to turn into a minefield. Really quickly. So I
feel like new games are kind of having to deal with that right now because they all know that it's coming out this year.
Oh, there's too much stuff coming out. And dude, I mean, tons of games have gotten delayed already. We had a bunch of Ubisoft games got delayed out of the spring. We've got Final Fantasy VII, Avengers, this game, Cyberpunk, some Iron Man VR game got pushed as well. Like, games are just dropping like flies right
couldn't
now.
wait for that Iron Man VR game.
Such an asshole. Oh my god. Yeah. All right.
Boy, man, that was gonna kill everything. Man, Final Fantasy heard about that Iron Man. He's like, "Whoa, stop the press, guys! Gotta shut this down."
They got out of our window. We got
Iron Man's coming out.
We gotta jump in there. All right, let's move on. Next story. So this one is interesting. So Mobius Final Fantasy is a mobile gacha game. I don't know specifically a lot about it, but it has been announced that the global version of the game is going to be shut down on June 30th, and they are going to stop selling the premium currency, I believe, at the end of March for this game. This game has been live. It was released in Japan in 2017. The global version was released in August 2016. So it's been around for a few years, and this announcement's not like, this is one of those things that this is going to start happening to a lot of these mobile games, particularly these gacha games that started several years ago. They're going to start dropping like flies as their communities dwindle, as they stop making money, as the development teams get smaller and smaller over the years, and it becomes harder and harder to kind of keep the community engaged. It just makes sense that this is going to happen. But this one in particular, though, was pretty popular, so I am surprised that this is kind of one of the first ones to go down. And it is interesting that the global version is actually the one that's going to last the longest. The Japanese version's already been shut down.
Yeah, it's already shut
down. It was shut down earlier last year, and I believe there was another version in Korea or something like that was also shut down last year. So it is interesting the global version is the one that lasted the longest, but I mean...
a lot of the laws are still allow loot boxes and things of that nature and all these purchases.
Right.
So, I mean, the game looked really cool. I remember I played it when it first came out. I liked it more than Bravest Exvius. Bravest... That's Exvius or Final Fantasy.
Brave Exvius.
I liked it better than that shit. I liked it better than that because it had actual 3D graphics, not the 2D sprites and shit like that.
Dude, Exvius is like a callback to the old school Final Fantasy.
It just had the current graphics and it was really cool. And I like that.
Are you one of those people? You think Chrono Trigger has shitty graphics, bro? You like that guy on Twitter?
Don't you bait me to that. Nah. Man. Yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. And you can do like class changes and stuff like that. The character can change classes to like the knight, the dark mage and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. Or the black mage and he can turn to the white mage and things of that nature. It was pretty fucking cool. But oh well. Sayonara. I won't feel bad for you.
To be honest, I kind of feel like that's just I feel like these games were never really built to last for a long time. They were just built so that way they can,
they can
absorb the money
off the people.
Have you played any of them, Denison?
I played one.
What was it? No, I doubt that.
No, I think it was like the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle.
Oh no,
bullcrap.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
one is so
bro, that's one of the worst ones out there.
It was really bad.
Oh my god, it was horrifically egregious. The monetization in that game.
Oh, it was really bad.
No.
Bro, you know how many people play those? And the One Piece one?
That was the reason why I got into it. Because
I talked about my experience with gachas on episode 2 of this show. So if you want to know more about that specifically, go to that. But this is an interesting thing because this goes into a conversation about how much money you've invested into a game like this, and there are people that have spent tens of thousands of dollars on this fucking game, Mobius Final Fantasy. I am sure of that. And all that money, all those achievements, all those characters that they got, they're gone. They're going to be gone on June 30th. Gone.
Yeah, because they're on the server, right?
It's just so sad.
No, it's the servers are shutting down.
That's what I'm saying.
The game's not going to be playable anymore. So it's all gone. And that is something I think that a lot of people, this is something that I'm going to be interested to see over the next few years. As more of these games shut down, do these communities just die? Like, do new gacha games try to like ramp themselves up and people get burnt by this shit and they're like, I'm not doing that again, because it's like, how long is this game going to last? Is it going to last 5 years? Is it going to last 3 years, 2 years if it doesn't do well, And if that's the case, why would you get invested? So I'm going to be interested to see how this market plays out because it's going to start happening to a lot of them. They're all going to start dropping, man. I think Brave Exvius is. I mean, I don't think that one's far away from the same thing happening.
They just added Sora, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, whatever.
So do you think that essentially these gacha games right now are just farming these people to death?
Oh, of course. That's what the whole point of them is.
They
create content literally to give people an excuse to spend money. That's the point of the game.
That second episode, he goes into a brief moment of his weakness for the games. And, well, I mean, I wasn't trying to be funny about it. It was a serious topic to me. I was I saw a part. I mean, he led me into a world that I didn't know about. Like, I was just like, man, they're fucking degenerates. And then he was like, well, it's an addiction. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Dude, so I got to take it seriously.
It's a deep, dark well. And honestly, if any of you out there listening are thinking about playing a gacha game or are currently playing a gacha game and you never played one before, get out while you can, because these games will latch onto you and they will take your mind over. Like, you will work your world around them. Like, you will literally do things you would never do. You will wake up early to take part in events before you go to work. You'll stay up late so you can get in on the daily reset and do your quests before you go to bed, that kind of shit. It's a weird, it's not a good situation. So I'm not surprised. I'm not sad to see this game go. I mean, I do feel bad for all the people that invested money, but it's like, I do hope that this game shutting down like teaches them a lesson, honestly, that it's like this, or at least helps them with their addiction if they have one. Like, this is not worth it. It's not worth the experience. You didn't get anything out of this game. You're going to look back on it in 20 years and be like, fuck, why did I spend so much money on such a fucking mobile game, Like, that wasn't even fun,
Well, this does lead me to believe, is that why they tried so hard on Fire Emblem? I think Fire Emblem Three Heroes is probably around the corner. It's probably as far as Japan goes, right? Like, I think it's around the corner.
Fire Emblem Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's on the same chopping block. I think a lot of those mobile games over in Japan, as far as, because Nintendo just got on this ride, and I feel like it's kind of sucks. They just got on this mobile ride, and now they're about to, as far as Japan goes, they're about to be on the chopping block because Japan is kind of cracking down on a lot of that shit over there.
Mm-hmm.
And
it doesn't matter. The game is extremely popular worldwide. Like Fire Emblem Heroes, they'll be fine.
You think they'll be fine?
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, the United States is a huge market for that game. It's wild. Go on the subreddit for Fire Emblem Heroes. It has more members than most Reddits I've ever seen. So
that's crazy.
Oh my god.
So and that's a pay to win game. That's crazy.
It's a mobile game. Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah. Bye bye, Mobius Final Fantasy. You will not be missed. All right, let's get on to the main course for this week's episode. This is a big deal, and I'm going to be interested to hear both of your thoughts on this. So Jason Schreier and Kotaku are reporting that Horizon Zero Dawn, the PlayStation Store exclusive, is going to be coming to PC later this year. There's no specific date, but from my understanding, the game is on PlayStation Now currently, and it is going to be off of PlayStation Now in April. And I think the timing of that could be around the time that this game launches on PC. That would make the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things to talk about here. I don't know which ones you guys find interesting here. But this caused a huge stir amongst the PlayStation community. People are very, very upset about this. Yeah, I know. Denison just rolled his eyes, basically. Yeah. Well, let's start there, I guess. So how does that make you feel? Because people are up in arms about this. Like, PlayStation fans, they think this is like the death of PlayStation. They're super pissed at Sony. They're like, why are you doing this? Blah. Like, really, really belligerently angry about it.
That's really dumb. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't think I heard any Xbox fans like go crazy when the Master Chief Collection got on Steam.
On PC. Right.
Like, seriously, who cares? Sorry, more people get to play the game. All right. I mean, I don't understand why people are trying to get all up in arms about like, oh, well, our exclusives are going away. I'm like, bro, F you.
No, I think what they're afraid of, though, is that platform ubiquity or agnosticism, I guess, over the course of time could hurt the ecosystem that they're a part of. Obviously, they're worried about PlayStation going away. But it's not only that. It's think about it this way. Say Sony and Microsoft put all their exclusives on each other's platforms, and they didn't care about being on like they had Halo on like, let's take that as that's a perfect example. Let's say they took Halo and they put that on PlayStation. All of a sudden, all the shooters that PlayStation makes, all the first-person shooters, I want to specifically talk about Killzone here. That game all of a sudden is never going to get made anymore because Halo is on the platform. Mm-hmm. Why would they make Killzone? Like, there's no reason to. Like, the game would not sell if Halo was on PlayStation. So I think that's part of the conversation is people are worried about that kind of thing, where franchises that they like that aren't necessarily good as the competition's, say the competition's game came over, it might kill their games, that they like. So that's the only argument I see that actually makes any modicum of sense. But the thing is it goes, I agree with what you said, is that more people playing these games is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's an example.
It helps the developer anyway.
Here's an example of someone who's like really mad about it. You know what? I hope Horizon Zero Dawn flops on PC. And now PC criminals are enemies. Period. I hope all you PC blanks get cancer and go F yourselves. I'm blocking all PC gamers. Now, congratulations for begging for a port of Horizon Zero Dawn.
This is the toxicity I was talking about with the Smash Bros. Community, bro. That's the same shit they were doing.
Yeah. This is the death of PlayStation. If PlayStation does this, then more games are going to go to PlayStation, or more exclusives are going to go to PlayStation.
Oh my god.
Last of Us, kiss that goodbye.
These people are so uninformed.
I can't believe they're going to do this.
Hilarious.
They're actually betraying the PlayStation gamers. This is crazy. I don't want this. We're not Xbox. We're PlayStation. PlayStation gamers unite for the players.
I'm sorry, bro, that you couldn't afford a PC.
So uninformed. Oh my gosh. Those things aren't true. Like that's such like giant leaps in logic there that don't make any sense.
People are just freaking out.
First the show, now Horizon Zero Dawn. What's next? The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh,
here we go.
Killzone, where we're gonna have a Killzone Halo crossover. I can't believe this.
This is so. I don't have much more to say about this because this is just so like those things that you just read are so stupid, dude. Like those people are legitimately just ignorant. Like they don't know. Like we talked about the MLB The Show thing. Sony had no choice in that situation. It has nothing to do with what they wanted to do.
Bro, these are. Bro, what are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? This is going to kill PlayStation. I can't believe you guys are approving this.
I hate you.
Wow, seriously?
See, like this is going to kill PlayStation.
Denison,
let me tell you why it's going to kill PlayStation. First, we had Crash Bandicoot, right? Now he's owned by freaking Activision. He's being a corporate slave. He's on Nintendo for Christ's sake. Are you serious? I can't believe that. He was in front of Nintendo headquarters boycotting them. Now he's working for them. I can't believe this. Now we're going to have fucking Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. They're going to make some nude mods of the main... I can't remember her name.
Aloy.
They're going to make nude mods of her. You guys want this? They're going to degrade our games. This is what you guys are... I can't even hold this anymore. I really don't fucking care. Like, I'm glad it's on PC. I really don't care.
All right. Well, so that part of the conversation I don't find interesting because it's stupid and whatever.
I actually thought that was the most interesting part of the conversation.
I think the way more interesting part of the conversation is what Sony's thinking with this. Is there is a strategy here that I think a lot of people probably aren't talking about, is that they're testing the waters for PC, obviously. There's clear intent here where they want to see how this game does, and they could not have picked a better game, I think, to test the waters with, because this isn't God of War, this isn't The Last of Us, this isn't their upper echelon, high-tier, PlayStation exclusives.
A lot of people consider it that way, though.
I know, but I think it's right below that. It's not quite there, but it's close enough. And I think it's already sold. The game's sold over 10 million units since it came out. It might even be more than that at this point.
I didn't know that shit.
Oh yeah, this is one of their highest selling exclusives. And they've milked this game dry at this point. The game's $10 on sale. You can find it easily anywhere for $10 on any given week. Every other week they put it on sale for $10. So at this point, how many more copies have they got to sell on PlayStation 4? They know that it's not much. So this game is 3 years old at this point. Like, it's not like they're releasing this game day and date or anything like that on PC. And I think this is where all those comments that you brought up just make me just want to. I don't even understand. They make me laugh because it's just stupid as shit. It's not like Sony is doing what Microsoft's doing, where they're releasing their exclusives day and date on PC, Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox Series. They're not doing that. They're not going to do that. I don't think that's what this is going to lead to. I could see a future where Sony releases their exclusives 6 months after the game comes out. I don't think we're going to see a future where they do day and date. Not in the near future. Like, I think maybe in a few years, 4 or 5 years, maybe we could see something along those lines, assuming the next console doesn't do as well as they had hoped. They hope, and they see a future where they need to get out of hardware or something like that. I could see that. But they're just testing the waters to see how the PC community reacts to their games. And another thing that I think people are losing here is, think about this. This game comes out on PC. It's coming out, say it comes out in May, right? Mm-hmm. That's 6 months before the next console launches. What if Guerrilla's ready with the next game, with Horizon 2? It's been 3 years. By the time the console comes out, it'll be close to 3.5 or more. 3 and 8 months, something like that. What if they're ready with the next game and they're ready at launch? People play this game in May. They fall in love with it on PC. Guess what? Horizon 2? Well, you need a PS5 in order to play it, bro. Too bad. What are you going to do? There's no other game like Horizon. You want to play it, you need to get the hardware. That's your only way. That could be that could also be part of the strategy here. Is they want to get people into the PlayStation landscape that aren't part of it,
I mean, they're essentially doing the same thing that Microsoft's doing. They're just trying to get more people into their ecosystem.
I don't think that. No, this is different from what Microsoft's doing. What Microsoft's doing, they're just trying to get people in the Microsoft ecosystem. Period. This is a lot more to me like calculated in trying to get people to buy PlayStation consoles. Microsoft's not doing that with their strategy. Their strategy does not incentivize anybody to buy an Xbox. Like, because they release it day and date on PC, there's no incentive to buy an Xbox. I don't have to buy any, like, all their exclusives, I can just play on PC, and that's how I approach it. Like, anything I'm interested in, I just play it on PC. I don't care about having an Xbox. You're not going to be like that. If you want to play their exclusives and you want to play them in a timely fashion, like when they release, you're going to have to do it on their hardware. That's the only way you're going to get it.
They're releasing Horizon Zero Dawn on PC to get people hooked on the game. Yep. And then 2 is gonna come out when PS5 comes out, and they're gonna be like, I should just buy it because I want to play this game.
Right.
Nah, son. I don't think so.
Why do you think that?
I just don't think Horizon Zero Dawn is a system pusher.
I disagree with you. 10 million copies? I disagree with you.
That is pretty big.
If this game is ready, say Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is ready at launch, you don't think that's going to push systems?
Not from PC folk, no. You're barking the wrong tree. I don't think PC folk are going to buy those games. A lot of PC players are just strictly PC players. If they don't have a console now, they're not going to have a console later.
This is the most PC game that Sony has in their ecosystem, like in their exclusive ecosystem.
I understand that, but then you're going to get people who are going to be like, just release it on PC, bro. You already did it for the first one. I played the first one on PC. I might as well just wait for the second one to come on PC.
I mean, I think they're trying it. I think they're trying it. Whether it works or not, it's a different question. I think that's what they're trying, though.
Justin, I can see your point.
Yeah.
I think that it does give people a really good incentive if they really fall in love with the game. But that's the thing, though. You're getting like the 1% of people who are going to move. I mean,
that's
to that.
More sales, though. It doesn't matter.
But
with a game that's 3 years old, like that's my point here. There's no risk.
Oh, of course, there's no risk. The game's already done what it needed to do.
Right.
You're just making extra money.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing the full console deal.
I see where you're going with this. I just don't think it's methodical. I think it's just like, oh, if it works, it works. PC, yeah, it's on there. But I don't think it's like a methodical move from PlayStation. Like what Xbox is doing is methodical. That's like, we're trying to get you in our ecosystem. I think if PlayStation is trying to say the same thing, like, hey, we're trying to get you in our ecosystem, like, hey, you want to come play these games, and we're going to release more games on the PC. I think that's what they're probably trying to gear it for. Maybe they're trying to come out with their own infrastructure on PC where people are like, hey, we got Horizon Zero Dawn on this launcher, and now we got this other game, God of War's on this launcher too. Like, we got our own launcher, it's our own Steam. But as far as like them trying to grab this PC crowd that already hates PlayStation, already hates consoles, no, they're just gonna wait.
I mean, you're generalizing the PC audience, dude.
Like, I don't know. I'm part of the PC audience. Is pretty toxic.
Okay, but I'm part of the PC audience. You're part of the PC audience. You're part of the PC audience. We all own PlayStations. Like, let's calm down here real quick.
But I started out as a console player. And there are people out there who did not, like, if you don't have a PC or if you don't have a console right now, thank God that was not open. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. But if you don't have a console right now, you're not going to have a console later. Like, and I'm not just saying that to be toxic. I'm saying that as a legitimate person who's like a PC person. Like, the only reason I built the PC is because I like to play PC games. Like, there are certain games I only play on PC. But like, there are people who don't want to play anything on consoles, and they have no intention of coming to consoles at all.
I just don't think that's as large of a group of people as you think it is. And I also think I think Sony and Microsoft have different definitions of what their ecosystems are. Microsoft's definition of an ecosystem is any device that has Microsoft products on it, basically. Like because they consider Windows a platform that is theirs. I mean, that doesn't hurt them. Like, somebody playing on PC doesn't hurt them. Somebody for Sony playing on PC, that's not really that beneficial for them because they don't own Windows. You know, it's like,
I mean, I get it from that perspective. It's just, I just think they're doing it as just a one-off thing. They may start doing like dual releases. I think that would be more viable if this game sells well on PC. They may start doing dual releases or not dual releases, but
other platforms. Day and date.
Yeah, day and date releases for.
That's not going to be good. I'm telling you,
that's not going to happen, bro.
I honestly don't.
If anybody expects that to come out of this, I'm sorry. I'm eating my shirt. I need to eat my shirt already because I didn't think this would happen. But I just don't think that's what Sony's planning on here.
I mean, maybe they could. Maybe they may do a thing where they release it on the PS5 and then a year later their console exclusives go to PC.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yo, that's still not going to push systems. 'Cause I can just wait. Like God of War 2 comes out. If I'm a PC player, if God of War gets pushed to PC, and then the next game comes out,
I couldn't disagree with you more. What if this was okay? Let's pick a game that you actually like. What if this was Mass Effect? What if Mass Effect? This situation was Mass Effect 1. You fucking love Mass Effect 1, and then all of a sudden Mass Effect 2 comes out, and you can't play it anywhere but PlayStation 5. Like, are you really gonna not play Mass Effect 2 for fucking 2-3 years because you don't want a piece of hardware that costs $400? Like, I feel like you would buy that. Like, if it was a game you really cared about. That's my point here. Is if people really fall in love with Horizon, which a lot of people have, and Horizon 2 comes out, I feel like the barrier of $400 for a PC gamer is not very high. Somebody who's willing to spend $2,000, $2,500 on a piece of hardware, I just don't feel like it's that high of a barrier personally. I think it's a very strong possibility. Gamers are weak-willed as shit. They got pissed about Mass Effect 3's ending, and it's does that mean they hate Mass Effect? No. When a good Mass Effect game comes out, they're gonna come out in droves and buy it. They don't people talk about boycotting shit all the time. Byleth, guess what? They're all gonna buy the Fighter Pass 2. They're not gonna boycott Nintendo. Gamers are extremely weak-willed. I just think that's reality. When they find a franchise they love, they will buy it no matter what. It just is what it is. It happens to me, it happens to Denison, and it happens to you, Montrell. It's just the truth.
I get that.
And I think that's Sony's strategy here. That's all I'm saying.
I get that. I think
they're trying to get
Kingdom Hearts.
Because, dude, this game is like a mini Witcher. It's not as long as The Witcher. It's not as big as The Witcher, but it plays similarly to The Witcher in terms of its open world, and there's some decision making you can make in the way the quest structure is. It's I don't think it's as good as The Witcher, but it's the closest thing Sony has to a PC RPG, and I think it's the perfect game for them to try this out with.
I'm really honestly trying to think while you're talking. I'm really trying to honestly think, will I buy another console game for Mass Effect 2? My answer is no, because I didn't do it for a Monster Hunter, and I love that more than Mass Effect. Only reason I bought a 3DS was because there was a lot of other games on there that I wanted to play, and Monster Hunter was on that console. I mean,
coming from my perspective, with Kingdom Hearts, I literally bought almost every console that it was on.
I did too.
I bought a 3D, I bought a DS.
Okay.
For the 365 whatever bullcrap days.
Yeah, 358.
That
PSP?
I bought actually, okay, I will say PSP was the only thing that I didn't buy.
I did.
But I did emulate that thing.
Okay.
I did buy a 3DS for Dream Drop.
Right.
I bought I bought a PS4 hoping I bought a PS3 hoping that Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to come out on those consoles.
A lot of people did.
And then I bought a PS4 because I was like, okay, well, they're probably going to have to come out.
And Montrell, your rationalization just now is exactly what people are going to do when they buy a PS5 for Horizon 2. They're like, oh, fuck, well, I guess I can play all those PS4 exclusives that are out that aren't on PC. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to pick a game. They're like, you picked the game that you wanted to play on that console, and then you were like, oh, well there's a ton of other games I'd play too.
I had it before that game came out on the 3.
Okay, but you knew it was coming.
No, I didn't. Because I hated Monster Hunter Ultimate 3. And then they announced it. I'm like, oh, shit, I can go out and buy this game.
Right.
But
you knew another one was coming, though.
I didn't know Monster Hunter 4 was coming out because I didn't even think 3 sold enough for it to come to us. So I didn't know until they announced it. I'm being dead honest about that. I'm being serious about that. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. I bought a 3DS because I genuinely liked the device. And I'm like, this is cool.
I'm just telling you, people buy devices for specific games.
I don't think
they do it.
I don't think. I'm sorry. maybe I have a different viewpoint of the PC gamer crowd, but I just don't think they're generally going to do this. Like, to me, the greatest example of this is fucking Halo. That's bigger than Horizon. There were people who did not go out and buy Xboxes, and that was a large chunk of the community for PC, for Halo 2 Windows. They didn't buy Halo 3. Mm-hmm. And now we're just now getting those people back because they waited for Halo Master Chief Anniversary to come out, and now it's on PC. They waited for it.
Yeah,
those same people who did it waited for it. Like, and I to me, that's the greatest example of how resilient PC. I mean, we can give them shit all we want to because we are PC gamers too, but we're not like hardcore PC gamers. Hardcore PC gamers, we give them shit all the time, but they are resilient in what they buy. They will not go out and buy. They will buy Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, oh man, this game's fun as fuck. I like this game. It's really cool. And they'll become what I call stands of it. They'll become a Horizon Zero Dawn stand. They just love the fucking console, the game, and everything like that. And now it's the greatest thing since sliced. That's another thing PC gamers do. They think now it's on PC. Now it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But before it wasn't on there. But anyway, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 comes out. PlayStation 5 exclusive only. Mm-hmm. They're gonna wait. Oh, it's gonna come on PC, bro. 6 years. I'm gonna wait. I got a billion other games on Steam and Origin and Epic Game Store I can play. So I'm going to do that. I just
think we're generalizing in different directions.
I mean, that's what you want.
I think
you
both,
want the general masses.
I think there will be people on both sides of what we're talking about. Like on your side, I think there will be people who do what you said, and there will be people on my side who do what I said. And man, Denison, you're having a day to day, man. I don't know. I think it's a smart move, whatever the case.
I mean, yeah, it's a smart move to get more sales. Like I said, I don't care. But if you're expecting like your numbers to go up from this, like
I'm just saying, I'm not expecting it to happen. I'm saying they're testing the waters, and that might be part of the plan. Like, I think this is the right game to do this with. They know when Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to come out. Like, we don't. They didn't pick God of War. They didn't pick The Last of Us. Like, they're picking a specific game that makes the most sense here, you know?
Yeah, or it could be that the team is probably about to go third party. They're not under Sony's umbrella anymore or something of that nature.
What, Guerrilla?
Maybe they're
no. That is no. They literally make the engine that all of Sony's studios use. There's no way in hell that would ever happen.
Maybe they're going independent, and now they're about to release their next game on all consoles. I mean, it could be a Mass Effect. It could be a Mass Effect situation where that was exclusive to Xbox, and now Mass Effect 2 is on every console.
I will bet everything I own that you are wrong.
I just said maybe it's a prediction. I'm not a prediction, but a guess. It's just a guess. Maybe Guerrilla's like, hey, man, we don't really need Sony.
I mean, how would they get out? It's like Sony has to let them go. They're not going to do that. Like I just said, they make the engine that all their studios use. It's just not going to happen. Denison, you have any thoughts on this?
He said the same thing about Bungie. Bungie's independent now. We were like, yo, these are Microsoft people. And now they're gone.
I mean, I never said that. They hated Microsoft. There's no indication that Guerrilla hates Sony.
We didn't know at the time that Bungie hated whatchamacallit, Xbox. We didn't know at the time. Every time they at least wanted to develop diaries, they're like, man, we're having so much fun testing our games. And we didn't know that. Guerrilla could be having the same thing with Sony.
I just think
we don't know. Like I said, I just don't. I'm not holding it past the opportunity.
Denison, what do you think about this opinion? Yeah, I think it's a big swing and a miss.
Oh my gosh! Wait, so that
Guerrilla won't be part of Sony after this game comes out, or at some time in the future
they'll be independent.
No, I mean, I think they're fine. To be honest, I don't think Guerrilla has a reason to leave.
They're being allowed to make whatever game they want to make.
Yeah, they have all like the time that they want. I mean, to be honest, I feel like Sony actually does a pretty decent job with their studios of like keeping them happy.
Right.
They're kind of like, all right, well, here's some money whenever you want to like
they
release
don't put
a game.
Limits on their studios.
Yeah,
for the most part.
For the most part. Yeah, I mean, I will say they start having like a timeline and kind of a deadline whenever the game gets semi-close or whenever the development studio says like, oh, hey guys, we're kind of close. Sony's like, all right, cool. Here's all your money.
Right.
And then they just start advertising it like crazy. But I will say though, yeah, I feel like Sony for the most part with all of their studios are very, very generous on like how long stuff is going to take. They're just like, all right, well, have fun.
Right.
We'll fund you with as much as you want because they just want people there. So I don't think they're going to leave.
I just say it's a possibility. I mean,
I just don't think it's possible.
Insomniac is independent, and they were with Sony.
No, they're not. They just got bought by Sony, bro.
Again?
Yeah, they were never owned by Sony. They were always independent up until Sony just bought them. They just worked with Sony all the time. That was their they always made games for them. So.
That was their go-to.
That was their go-to. They tried Microsoft. It didn't work. Sunset Overdrive.
That's true. Oh, gosh. I mean, it wasn't a bad game.
I heard it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. That conversation's over. Last story of the day, MPD numbers for December 2019 and the decade, the 2010s through the 2010s. So for December, we had the same trend that's been happening this last few months. Numbers are down. Total video game sales for the December. This is December 2018 versus December 2019 in order. $3.494 billion in 18 versus $2.984 billion in 2019, 15% decrease in sales. Video game hardware is down from 1.168 million or billion rather to 973 million, a 17% decrease. PC and video game software, PC, console, portable, physical, digital sales, all the good stuff. 1.314 billion last year, and then in 2019 it was 1.141 billion, down 13%. And then video game accessories and game cards, 1.012 billion in 2018, and in 2019 it was 869 million, down 14%. So the trend is continuing. I wouldn't expect that to be any different. I will say these numbers are pretty stark. Like those are really large decreases.
Yeah.
But it's been like this for a few months now. So no surprise there. In terms of software, top 20 selling games of December 2019. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Number 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is crazy. Number 3, Madden NFL 20. Number 4, NBA 2K20. Number 5, Luigi's Mansion 3, which, what the hell? That came out of nowhere. Number 6, Pokemon Sword. Number 7, Mario Kart 8. Number 8, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 9, Pokemon Shield. Nintendo, man, making themselves known. Number 10, Minecraft. Number 11, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 12, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 13, FIFA 20. Number 14, Just Dance 2020. Number 15, Need for Speed Heat. What the hell? Number 16, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 17, Zelda Link's Awakening. Number 18, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Number 19, Super Mario Party. What? Number 20, Ring Fit Adventure. Nintendo, how do you manage this? I don't understand. Things jumping out there to me, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order going up to number 2 for the month. That's crazy.
That is.
And Luigi's Mansion 3 at 5. That's higher than it was in November. Like...
A lot of people are playing that game, man.
That's weird, insane. Man. I mean, it came out at the very end of October. It wasn't even on. It was like, I don't even think it was in the top 10 in November.
Maybe it was on sale this week or something.
It must have been on sale this month or something like that. But Pokemon Sword still outselling Shield. A lot of Nintendo stuff. So, anything jumping out to you guys?
I'm still surprised that Grand Theft Auto is still there.
I mean, are you? Why? That game's been there for 10 years.
I know, but like
it's never gonna go away.
It should go down by now.
I don't understand. It's not a good. It just doesn't even look like a fun game. I don't understand.
It's a fun game, but I don't think it's enough to make me want to continue to. Yeah, I don't know. It's never been that fun for me.
I don't understand. How did they do this?
I burnt out after like 2 years. I will say I played that game for 2 years religiously. Like, oh man, this is a good game. I always went back to it, right. And then after that, I was like, I'm good. Like. I don't need this anymore. I
don't
understand that.
Top 10 selling games for the year, ending in December 2019. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Number 2, NBA 2K20. Number 3, Madden NFL 20. Number 4, Borderlands 3. Number 5, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 6, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Jesus. Number 8, Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 9, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Number 10, Mario Kart 8. What the hell?
Good gosh.
Mario Kart 8, number 10 on the year. And that is a remake of a game that came out in like 2015. I can't even with that. Nintendo's crazy, man. Any surprises there for you guys? I guess Kingdom Hearts 3 being in the top 10 is pretty surprising, actually.
No, that's not that surprising, actually.
Really? You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
It's not, but
it really isn't. I mean, seriously, this is the game that, every Kingdom Hearts fan has been waiting for ages.
I mean,
and so they're all going to buy it.
JRPG though, like
I mean, just looking by the numbers played and how long we played the game, I didn't know that was my top played game of one of my top 3 played games of last year. So I believe it. I mean, it's whatever.
Right. And then we'll do the decade next. This is the most depressing list I think I've ever seen. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5. No surprise. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops. Number 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Number 5, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Number 6, Call of Duty Ghosts. Number 7, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 8, Call of Duty World War 2. Number 9, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Number 10, Minecraft. Number 11, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Number 12, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Number 13, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Number 14, Mario Kart 8. Number 15, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Number 16, Battlefield 1. Number 17, Battlefield 4. Number 18, Destiny. Number 19, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 20, Star Wars Battlefront 2015. Every Call of Duty game that's come out in the decade was on that list, and it was basically all in the top 10.
That's hilarious.
I kind of expected that.
I mean, it's not surprising. It's just depressing to see, though. It's really sobering to see it on a list like this. Like, we think that series is dying. World War, the newest one is number 12 in 2 months for the decade. I mean, what are we talking about?
Hey, man, good game's a good game.
Do you want to hear the you want to compare that to the 20 from the 2000s?
No, I don't.
Yes.
You do?
Okay. I'll read it for Denison real quick. Number 1, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock.
Wait, what?
Number 2, Wii Fit. Number 3, Rock Band. Number 4, Wii Play with Remote. Number 5, Guitar Hero World Tour. Number 6, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Number 7, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Number 8, Mario Kart Wii. Number 9, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Number 10, Call of Duty World at War. Number 11, Guitar Hero 2. Number 12, Rock Band 2. Number 13, Madden NFL 07. Number 14, Halo 3. Number 15, Madden NFL 08. Number 16, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Number 17, Madden NFL 09. Number 18, Halo 2. Number 19, Grand Theft Auto 4. Number 20, Madden NFL 06. So the difference here, obviously, is there's less Call of Duty because there weren't that many out.
And more Maddens.
More sports games and music games, rhythm games. Which, interestingly, the one for this past decade, no sports games at all. Not a single one. I couldn't believe that.
Oh, that is true.
That's like insanely surprising to me that no Madden or FIFA made the list or NBA 2K made the list at all.
Because everybody started drinking the coffee and started waking up and saying like, "Oh wait, these games are all right."
They're not drinking the coffee. That's the problem.
I bet if we expanded this to 50, it would be littered with sports games. I think it's like literally they just barely didn't make the cut. Like that's
you think they're like number 21?
I think it's like 21 through 30 is all sports games. Probably.
Yeah, the simple fact that Star Wars Battlefront 2015 sold more than a Madden game is kind of weird.
Wild, right?
Or NBA 2K game. That's kind of weird.
So I think they're right there probably. So.
Or a FIFA game.
Nah, Star Wars Battlefront doesn't surprise me that much. Because
that one was really hyped.
That one had a ton of hype, and it looked really pretty. I mean, it's still a pretty game. So yeah, because everybody remembers the old Battlefront, so that's not really that surprising.
All right, let's move on to the final segment of the week. Game releases. Nothing big coming out this week except for like Remind DLC. The Sony back button attachment is coming out today. If you're interested in that. Otherwise, it looks like a bunch of indie games and small games. Rugby 2020, if you want to play that.
Hey man, don't be dissing the small games, man. They're out there. They need their love too. They need the love, you know.
Temtem, I've been hearing about that game actually. That game's popping off, dude. Like they're having like server problems apparently. Like they can't even like keep up with the amount of demand they have. So interesting.
Oh, that's what you get when you have like a knockoff Pokemon.
But any other
Wait,
games?
what?
Wait a second. What was that? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh,
have you not seen it?
No.
Yeah, no. It looks it's essentially a knockoff Pokemon just online with people. So you get to roam around.
So what Nintendo should have been doing for years?
Yes, it's like an RPG with.
Fuck, I gotta look this game up. DBZ Kakarot might have to take a back
I mean, it's got
bro.
evolutions and everything. It literally is Pokemon.
Really? Okay. We'll look at it after the show together, the three of us, and then we'll be like, oh my god, we're all gonna get it. All right, guys, we're gonna call it there. That's gonna be the episode for this week. So let's start with Denison. Plug your show, bro. Where can the people find you? You and the Catchup, you and John on the Catchup. What feeds do you have? I know you have a Facebook presence.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. We are on all of the podcast locations, or so you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, right. Google Play, or really it's Google Podcasts at this point.
It's also Apple Podcasts, not iTunes. But I can't break that habit, bro.
So
it's
weird.
Impossible.
And then we also have a Facebook page, which is the Catchup Cast on Facebook.com. You can interact with us on there, as well as check out some of the little snippets that we have from our episodes, and we also post really cool and interesting topics, as well as articles on there. I mean, those are the main spots that you can find us. We also have an Instagram as well, so please follow us on there too. So we've got some really cool stuff on there.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, if you like this episode, please like the episode, review the episode, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you are listening on. And if you could, please share it with your friends. We would like to grow the audience. If you'd like to talk to us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I am at ThunderNut01, and the show is at the Player's Take. Denison, I believe you guys don't have a Twitter presence, correct?
Sadly, not yet.
Okay. You don't have a personal one, though, either, right?
No.
They are on Instagram, though.
Yes, we are on Instagram.
If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. That's going to be it for us. Next week, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, whatever news comes out. I think there's going to be a couple game announcements potentially this week, but we got the Sony PS5 reveals coming up hopefully in a couple weeks here, so that is exciting. That's the rumor right now, so look forward to that, guys.
I don't know. They might release another logo or something.
No. That was... I don't know what people expected
at
CES.
That.
But, all right. That's going to be it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we will see you on the next one. All right? Bye, guys.